The career and achievements of Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso was born on July 29, 1981, in Oviedo, Spain, into a working-class family. His father, José Luis Alonso, a mechanic and amateur kart driver, built Fernando his first go-kart when he was just 3 years old. Though his older sister, Lorena, showed no interest, young Fernando quickly took to racing. At the age of 5, he was granted a karting license by the local racing federation, marking the start of his racing career. The family faced financial struggles, often unable to afford essentials like rain tyres, forcing Fernando to race on slick tyres in wet conditions. His father not only acted as his mechanic, but also served as his manager, accountant, and mentor, guiding him through the challenges. Meanwhile, his mother ensured Fernando stayed on track academically while she sewed and adjusted his racing suits as he grew. Despite these financial hurdles, Alonso's talent shone through. By 7 years old, Alonso won his first kart race, and by the early 90s, he was dominating the Spanish karting scene. He won multiple championships, including the Asturias and Galicia Junior Championship, and caught the eye of go-kart importer Genis Marco, who helped sponsor him. His karting career took off, leading him to European competitions. By 1997, Alonso was winning prestigious titles, including the Italian and Spanish International A championships. His rapid rise in karting eventually paved the way for his entry into professional motorsport. Alonso's F1 career began in 2001 with Minardi, where he struggled in a non-competitive car, but impressed enough to secure a Renault test driver role in 2002. In 2003, he was promoted to the Renault race team, making history as the youngest driver to win a pole and a race, beating the record held by Bruce McLaren. By 2004, Alonso had become a top contender, finishing 4th in the championship with several podiums. In 2005, Alonso faced a tough challenge for the World Championship against Kimi Raikkonen. New regulations gave an edge to reliability, and Alonso's Renault proved more dependable, though less powerful. He won 7 races, secured 6 poles, and earned 14 podiums, ultimately becoming the youngest ever world champion, surpassing Emerson Fittipaldi. In 2006, Alonso extended his contract with Renault and quickly became the title favourite. After winning 6 of the first 9 races, he led the championship with 84 points. But with a FIA ban on Renault's mass damper and Ferrari's resurgence, Alonso and Michael Schumacher were tied on points heading into the Japanese Grand Prix. Alonso won the race after Schumacher's engine failure and clinched his second title by finishing 2nd in Brazil, making him F1's youngest double world champion at the time. In 2007, Fernando Alonso joined McLaren. His main competitors were teammate Lewis Hamilton and former rival Kimi Raikkonen at Ferrari. Alonso won 4 races that season: Malaysia, Monaco, Europe and Italy, and led the championship early on. However, Hamilton quickly became a strong rival, overtaking Alonso for the lead. Heading into the final race in Brazil, Alonso was still in contention, needing a win, and for Hamilton to finish 3rd or lower to take the title. Alonso finished 3rd, but despite a tie in points with Hamilton, he lost the championship on countback, as Hamilton had more second-place finishes. Tensions between Alonso and Hamilton rose throughout the season, especially after a controversial incident during the Hungarian Grand Prix, where Alonso delayed Hamilton in the pit lane. This strained relationship with McLaren ultimately led to Alonso's departure from the team by mutual agreement in November 2007. In 2008 and 2009, Fernando Alonso raced for Renault. In 2008, despite an uncompetitive car, he secured a stunning win at the Singapore Grand Prix and finished 5th in the standings. His racecraft remained sharp, even though Renault was behind the top teams. In 2009, Alonso faced an even tougher year with the R29, struggling to compete against stronger cars. He managed 2 podiums, including a second place in Hungary, but Renault was mired in controversy due to the Crashgate scandal. Alonso ended the season 9th in the standings, frustrated by his car's performance. It was clear by then that he needed a new challenge. Alonso agreed to join Ferrari in 2010 after Renault's Crashgate scandal. Alonso's main competition that season came from McLaren's Hamilton and Button and Red Bull's Vettel and Webber. He won 5 races and entered the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix leading by 8 points, after recovering from a 47-point deficit mid-season. However, a 7th-place finish in Abu Dhabi saw him lose the title to Vettel, finishing as runner-up by just 19 points. In 2011, Fernando Alonso had a mixed season with a Ferrari car that lacked grip and tyre handling. Despite these challenges, he secured 10 podium finishes, including a win at the British Grand Prix thanks to a Red Bull strategy mistake. His best qualifying result was second in Canada, and he outqualified teammate Massa 15 times. Alonso ended the season 4th with 257 points, remaining in the hunt for second until Webber's win at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Ahead of the 2012 season, Fernando Alonso extended his Ferrari contract until 2016. His main rival for the title was Sebastian Vettel. Alonso won in Malaysia, Valencia, and Germany, building a 40-point lead in the championship. However, start line incidents, a mechanical failure, and Vettel's improved performance saw Alonso lose his lead. Going into the final race in Brazil, Alonso was 13 points behind Vettel and needed a podium finish, with Vettel scoring no points. Despite finishing second and Vettel finishing 4th, Alonso ended up as runner-up with 278 points for the second time in his career. In 2013, Fernando Alonso drove a more aggressive Ferrari car, securing wins in China and Spain while consistently scoring points. However, after a tyre change at the German Grand Prix, he struggled compared to Vettel, and performance upgrades to his car were ineffective. With 242 points, Alonso finished second for the 3rd time in his career. His relationship with Ferrari began to cool as he felt the team couldn't build a car capable of winning the title. In 2014, Fernando Alonso didn't secure any race wins, as his Ferrari was outpaced by the dominant Mercedes. However, he finished 3rd in China and 2nd in Hungary. Alonso ended the season 6th in the standings with 161 points. He outqualified teammate Raikkonen 16 times, averaging over half a second faster per lap. Fernando Alonso left Ferrari and rejoined McLaren on a 3-year contract. His 2015 season was tough, starting with a concussion from a pre-season crash. Struggling with a Honda engine that lacked power, he finished 17th in the standings, scoring points in Britain and Hungary. In 2016, Alonso outqualified Button 15 times, finishing 10th in the championship with 54 points, including 2 5th-place finishes. In 2017, Alonso faced more reliability issues and finished 15th with just 17 points. After contract talks, he signed a multi-year extension with McLaren. By 2018, frustrated with McLaren's focus on 2019 car development, Alonso left F1 at the end of the season, finishing 11th in the standings with 50 points. He stayed with McLaren as an ambassador, but didn't renew his contract for 2020. Fernando Alonso made his return to racing in the 2019 24 Hours of Daytona with Wayne Taylor Racing. He teamed up with Kamui Kobayashi, Renger van der Zande, and Jordan Taylor in a Cadillac DPIVR. Together, they completed 593 laps and won the rain-shortened race. Fernando Alonso and Toyota agreed to race in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. After a seat fitting in November 2017, Alonso was entered into the full 2018-19 FIA World Endurance Championship, with Sebastian Buemi and Kazuki Nakajima in the number 8 TS050 Hybrid. He prepared by testing the car and racing in a 24-hour kart event without artificial lights. The trio won the LMP1 Drivers' Championship with 5 victories, including the 2018 and 2019 24 Hours of Le Mans. Before the 2017 Australian Grand Prix, Zak Brown suggested Fernando Alonso race in the Indianapolis 500. Initially sceptical, Alonso later agreed, believing it would be a win for everyone. After discussions with McLaren, IndyCar and Andretti Autosport, Alonso drove for McLaren Honda Andretti in the 2017 Indy 500. He passed rookie tests, qualified 5th, and led for 27 laps, but his engine failed with 21 laps remaining, finishing 24th. In 2020, Fernando Alonso entered the Dakar Rally with Toyota after a 5-month testing program in Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. He competed in races like the Lichtenberg 400 in South Africa, Rally du Maroc in Morocco, and the Al Ula Neom Rally in Saudi Arabia, finishing 3rd in the latter, his best result. Partnering with Mark Comer as his co-driver, Alonso completed the Dakar Rally in 13th place, with his best stage finish being 2nd. However, a repair stop in Stage 2 and a roll in Stage 10 cost him valuable time in the overall standings. In 2021, Fernando Alonso returned to F1 with the rebranded Alpine F1 team alongside Esteban Ocon. After testing the Renault RS18 and RS20, Alonso's season started with a retirement at the Bahrain Grand Prix due to debris. He scored points at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, finishing 11th, but moved to 10th after Kimi Raikkonen's penalty. In Hungary, he briefly led the race and helped Ocon secure his first win. Alonso's standout result was a 3rd-place podium in Qatar, his first since 2014. He extended his contract for 2022 and had continuous strong performances, including a 2nd-place start in Canada, but finished 9th after a penalty and engine issues. In 2023, Fernando Alonso joined Aston Martin on a multi-year deal alongside Lance Stroll, after Alpine offered only a 1-year extension. On his debut at the Bahrain Grand Prix, Alonso secured a 3rd-place podium, marking Aston Martin's first podium since 2021. He repeated this result at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, marking his 100th career podium, though a penalty initially dropped him to 4th before being reversed. Alonso continued strong performances with another 3rd-place finish at the Australian Grand Prix. After a drop in performance, he secured podiums at Zandvoort and São Paulo. He finished the season 4th in the standings, his best since 2013. In 2024, Alonso competed in his 400th Grand Prix at the Mexico City Grand Prix, becoming the first driver to reach that milestone. Alonso has proven time and again that his skill and determination make him one of the greatest drivers in the sport's history. Here's to many more milestones from the legendary Fernando Alonso.